Welcome to the General's Gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you're ready. Ready for Jesulin versus Jove, two of the top 5 players, I would say, in the community. Probably not in terms of the ranked, the ladders, but ladders aren't really the best indication of player skill. I think the best indication is just going off of tournament history.
The best indication is going off General's Gentleman approval. I think you'll find Machine.
But then according to that, then Burmy is like the best player in the world.
That's true. Yeah, certainly makes it difficult. So we're hyped. I haven't casted Jesulin in a while. I miss you, Illies. So yeah, I'm glad to be casting this.
Yeah, I think Jesulin is actually a player that didn't do amazingly during ESL. I think it was more just because a lot of other players really stepped up. So I think there was a long period of time where everyone was just, yep, Jesulin's the best, clearly. Where now, not so much. You know, there's Love Nest, there's Jove. Those two players, I would say, are better players now, but I wouldn't fret over too much about it. It's really just, in Company of Heroes, games can swing either way. Even if a player is better than your opponent, you know, you can have bad games, you can have bad RNG and stuff, but realistically, you're more likely to lose a game because of a mistake that you made. So it's not like StarCraft, where if you're better than your opponent, you're just going to win every time because they can't macro as good as you. And that's kind of what makes it interesting, when, at least in terms of tournaments and such. And also frustrating at times.
Combination of both, Messine. Real combination of both. So Jesulin looks like I was about to call multiple Maxims, but he ends up building a 10-man power late conscript squad instead.
Ah, man.
So, don't bait me, bro.
Gone are the days when players, why would I unit mix when I can just Maxim? I'm glad that it's now actually beneficial to build things other than Maxims. Sometimes I say that even though I lost a Maxim spam yesterday. It was upsetting, but the Maxim nerf's certainly fortunate. Oh, he vaults the fence, but Maxim setting up. He's behind heavy cover, but still will get suppressed here. And Jove is putting him. Oh, whoa, hang on. What? The Grens get the gunner down.
Yeah. Probably.
Wow. Okay.
I'd say the reasoning behind that is, yes, the prioritization has changed, but if the Grens aren't in range of the whole squad, then I'm not sure that applies. Does it? Like, do you know? I mean,
it will only.
Does the damage get?
No. It'll randomly get distributed
focused,
amongst who's within range.
Who's within range? So I was right. Yeah. Okay,
and the best way to view that is the sniper. You know, if the sniper. If it's firing at a crew and only the gunner is within range, it'll always hit the gunner every single time. But once multiple members are within range, that's when you'll start to see it distributed more evenly amongst the members.
I did want to see that I was correct on that, and that is probably why we saw the gunner drop twice in a row there, due to the other models hanging a little bit further behind and probably not being necessarily in range of the Grenadiers.
Yeah, he can definitely outrange Grenadiers, but before he was more forward. Either way, very late cap on this corner point. You don't want to lose your cutoff, and that's what's going to happen now, actually. I like how Jove is building the sandbags here. I'm very glad that Pioneers can now build sandbags. It was always a weird part about Vermouth is that they couldn't build sandbags, but everyone else could.
Certainly was odd.
So there's going to be heavy cover here, but look at that heavy cover from the sandbags. What a difference, because there would have been no cover whatsoever. And now they're capping the cutoff whilst also being in cover, where you have to stay behind the light cover, which isn't actually in the capping circle.
Yeah.
Do this. That is good.
This is a good thing. Gentlemen certainly do recommend this play coming in here. Mortar v Mortar at the moment. We also see Jesulin going for another Maxim. Nothing wrong with that. It's appropriate to have a couple of MGs on a map like Lungras.
Mortar in the house here. Oh, it goes to the forward one. Wow.
That's a baller play. Probably going to be forced out by the Pioneers here. The Pioneers get in a nice position. It can be enough to get the DPS down, assuming the MG42 turns around. This is a weird play from Joe. He's not turning.
Well, the Pioneers don't have the Flamer yet. The Flamer's coming out now.
Even being up close and personal with the Pioneers can be nice. That's
no,
DPS.
Look at that. There we go.
Okay, that was actually...
Oh, he could even wipe this here. The Death Loop coming through. Nah, he survives barely.
It was actually, Potentially Jove just covering himself there, just trying to get the sneaky flamer pop. Maybe the Maxim expecting the Pioneers not to contribute towards that engagement.
Yeah, in that situation there, it's the Pioneers on their own wouldn't do too much, but it's either do you focus the MG42
or
do you focus the
Pioneers,
Pioneers. Either way, you're gonna get flushed out most likely.
Yeah.
So good recovery there from Jove. I think it was maybe a little bit greedy by Jesulin going for that house rather than this one. He would have been quite safe, but then at the same time, the mortar would have flushed him out eventually. So it was ultimately 3 squads v1. The map control is pretty even for the most part, as is the VP score. Nothing really to report. And we'll probably just see Jesulin go for his tier 3. Get a T70 out, it's standard stuff.
Yeah, normal play. With the combat engineers capping, it's probably worth going medics now. He doesn't really need them, but the mortar's been taken quite low. And since the combat engineers are still in the field looking for caps as well, will be a little bit more time before they can build a tier structure.
Still no corner point. This is strange, but I mean at the same time, Jove does have his cutoff, and that's the important thing.
It's just not an efficient cap. You really do have to go out of your way to cap that point. It's
When I start off, I normally cap here and then here
and then
the cutoff.
Yeah, that's actually my capping order as well. They're their cutoff, and like a second squad goes to the munitions, and then you start playing around the cutoff.
But it's harder now because now that you spawn from the buildings, it means you can't spawn from the sides. Because I would normally I spawn out here right next to it, and then the next squad I'll spawn out here and then go right for the fuel. So the fact that you spawn from the buildings, it kind of changes the capping order a little bit, or at least it changes the efficiency and the customization of locations that you cap from.
And when timing your orders really can come down to less than 10 seconds.
Oh
nice
man,
flag.
rifle nade. Oh, he's gonna retreat in time though, I think. But that could have been 7 wipes. Like how many times would have the rifle nade wiped that Maxim?
Yeah, look, I mean, more than an average amount of times, machine. That would not have been great. So
you know how in Counter-Strike when you die, it says how much damage you got hit by.
Yeah.
How the AWP does. I can't remember the number, but it's like
400 and something.
Yeah,
75
when
damage.
you get headshot, just so you know how many times you died in a row.
Yeah.
Would have been the same.
This could have killed
Maxim.
2 of you, noob. Honestly, lets you know how shit you are. It's which is a good thing. Right, so last time we saw a half track on Lungra's Kai, we saw those flames getting thrown down in the Bledisloe Cup game of Burmy versus.
Oh, that was amazing.
Yeah, it was actually the same thing here from Jove.
Yeah, I thought he was maybe just going to use it for the reinforcement, but he reinforced the MG. Now he's going for the flame projectors. Aggressive caps here from Jove. Doesn't actually have a med bunker just yet, and he's going to suffer from that a little bit here with these Grens.
I mean, if you can get some work done, shooting flames around, then I don't really see a problem with it, but how much work can he get?
Well, he doesn't shoot flames, he projects flames.
Oh, my bad. I apologize for the misnomer.
It's not a flame shooter, it's a flame projector. Even though I always say flamer because of Warhammer, even though that flamer isn't really a thing in real life, but it's a thing in Warhammer. Other than that, Jesulin going for AT grenades. Having 2 cons is the great thing about the cons, is then you can use those AT grenades. He has actually a fair bit of fuel. He hasn't gone for his tier 3 building yet, so his T70 is going to be delayed. I wonder what his strat is. Is he going for something else intentionally?
I don't think so. I think it's just a manpower problem at the moment, Machine, and having your combat engineers in the wrong location. They're retreating now, so I'd say it's still tier 3 at this stage. Because he decided to get the Zis gun out in conjunction with the AT grenades, that's a pretty big manpower sink, and that's essentially what would have delayed.
Well, but maybe he wants to go for his T-3485s, and by going Zis and AT grenades, it allows him to kind of skip the tier 3.
That's also possible. Or even skip the tier 3 in what way?
Well, as in just not build anything from it. Just go tier 3, tier 4, then 85.
Yeah,
you can't skip it, but you can not build anything from it.
I was just clarifying, so yeah. Yeah, you're certainly right. That is a possibility, Machine.
Also, I should throw in that if you can hear lots of banging and noises in the background, my brother is repositioning the layout of his room, so you might be able to hear some kind of thing.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
We don't have a fully sick soundproof studio. Not yet. We are looking into it. It's going to be expensive, but something that I've been meaning to do for a while. In this road, you know, the traffic can be a bit noisy, but the main thing is that we can't cast late at night which is kind of when we need to be doing streams and such because, our time zone.
Which is a little bit limiting. So try and imagine the banging as tier 3 building in the case
Yeah,
of
fully
Jesulin.
immersive, 4D experience.
Yeah,
Wow.
we really get into it here at Gentleman HQ. We have a sound guy that we pay $2 an hour. He just stands next to us and like bangs on things and has a couple of squeaky toys as well. Helps out. So medics are online for both of our players.
Now,
a little bit late, but not bad late, strategically late, as in our players decide to invest in other things.
I want to go for a long rant. Are you cool with that?
Hang on.
Have you braced yourself in a practical
Just give me a sec. I'm just
yet
stretching.
comfortable position? Well, 4
Alright.
models from the cons went
Alright,
down.
I'm good. When the machine says a long rant, he means a long rant.
Okay, so I'm going to be a bit clickbaity here. So did you know that everyone has been building med bunkers wrong the entire time forever?
What?
Yeah, there's a video on Trending by a guy called Desper, who we actually casted him the other day. A really great video. Basically, this is actually a really... See how the medics are chasing after the pyos? What that does, it delays the medics. So Desper made a video about this in response to Tightrope saying, what a weird way to place your medics. Basically, the best way to build them, just make sure I don't miss anything. Nate will come through on the half track, I think. The best place is to put them behind the HQ. Because it means that it eliminates... Oh, well, pyros go down, they get eliminated. It eliminates any of the medics chasing after squads, and it's just more efficient.
Right,
You should watch the video.
Yeah.
It saves about 3 seconds. Well, watch it with the Grenadiers as well, for example. I recommend that video. It's on the Trending, just go to all Trending.
Because it puts the medics outside of their max
You'll
range
see.
away from there.
You'll see
I
it.
understand what you mean, though. Yeah, I certainly get that.
It's also the same when you try to leave the base without actually being fully healed. So now that they'll run out, and then they'll just run back again. It's just wasting time.
Right,
Where if they
okay.
were here, they would just go straight to the Grenadiers, and you save yourself like 0.3 seconds every time, which adds up. So yeah, it's a nice little tip and trick. It's kind of ironic, actually, that someone made a tips and trick video about Tightrope. But yeah, it's actually really interesting is when you have something that the entire community has just been doing wrong and no one really figured it out until recently. And also, obviously, the fact that it's going to be more defensible if it's behind here, where you can snipe that quite easily.
I just thought it's annoying you can't micro your medics as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's just like, can you please not repair the combat engineer squad I plan on leaving inside my base? Would you mind, like,
that's
healing
true.
the guard squad that I need out on the field? That'd be great.
I think when it comes to those little
medics.
things, if it's optional micro that you don't have to do, but if you do benefits you, then that's great. But if it's forced necessary micro, like the old US ambulance, that you have to press the heal button or it won't heal at all, that's just when it's tedious and it's just APM sinks. Like this, it's chasing after them. Where if you put the medics behind, say if you're Wehrmacht, then it'll just stay there. Because there's sometimes that you urgently need for a squad to leave out if it's to repair something. You don't really care about the health, and you just need to repair this tank.
Right. So with the SU-76 out on the field, that's plenty of AT, and it's nice for Jesulin. That in conjunction with the Zis gun means a pretty limited span of usefulness for this flame projector half track. So it doesn't take a lot for the flame projector half track to be effective. It really only requires kind of one burst at a support weapon, and then with the changes to, obviously the ages ago changes to flamers, because it's all about the AoE, it's all about the over time ground effect. There's no Q click.
What is this mortar doing?
I have
What?
no idea.
He's running around in circles. What? What? What?
That was a heavy miss micro.
He kept doing it. Like,
Nope, wasn't him.
I mean,
Is he baiting consequence in to get suppressed? Or?
I don't know. I mean, everyone makes the mistake where they misclick units in and go whoops, but he kept running back and forwards. It's like he left it there intentionally.
Yeah, that wasn't even a an attack move mistake. Machine.
Yeah, because it wasn't actually firing; it was just moving.
Once it saw the conscripts, it should have stopped and tried to acquire them.
Yeah, so that was weird. But either way, this flame half track doing some great work here. But maybe it'll die soon. It's such a high damage unit, but it does get taken out pretty quickly here. Oh, it survives. I love the flame change. It makes flamers more utility and better better at clearing garrison and denying garrisons, more importantly. And it also changes the way that clown cars work, because now the flamer clown cars aren't as effective. And without, they were just a horrible unit. They were just such a gimmicky, cheesy unit.
Yeah, it really has changed the flames overall into more utility-based rather than gimmick-based.
Yeah.
So with crits, so yeah, fantastic change.
Triple flamer crit.
Triple flamer crit.
That's not
The worst of crits. So
Yeah, that was bad.
it's not a great time. I like my shock models being alive and not dead. It's just a personal thing. It's not for everyone. But, plenty of repairs out in the field here for Jesulin with double combat engineers. I haven't seen a lot of mines so far, but I mean, I would like to see Jesulin go for more. He's got about a 340 float. Admittedly, his combat engineers have been pretty active, but still no excuse for not building mines at this tier of play.
Demos as well. Soviets are such a great faction to be floating munitions as you just, okay, cool, I'll just put demos everywhere. And yeah, it just makes...
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten to late game stages in like team games where I've had like 600 munitions, like, oh, I got 600 munitions, and just like mine demo the entire map, and or more efficiently flare demo the entire map.
Yeah, there we go.
So
that's next level strats.
There's the real plays. Also effective at making the demo blow up with no clicking of your own accord.
Yeah, the only benefit to mine demo, there's just more anti-vehicle damage. But as far as infantry, then yeah, just a flare demo is a cheaper way of getting the same impact.
Getting those wipes, which is what it's all about. Looking towards our victory points, 417 for Jove, 429 for Jesulin. So we haven't seen what we often do see on Lungra is a really early bleed in favor of one player or the other. Whoever managed to get heavy VP lead at the start of the game. It really has been pretty even across the board. So settle down, grab a drink. We could be in for a long one.
Grab a brew.
Grab a brew.
Grab an iron brew,
yeah,
man. I wish.
Yeah. Grab a brew. Maybe open up your esky, mate.
Some stubbies.
Yeah, get some stubbies,
Yeah.
mate. Nothing better with a General Gentleman cast than a couple of stubbies, eh?
We don't have any stubbies, unfortunately.
I know. Where's it at, man? Unless you count energy drinks, we certainly have those. I was wondering why there were so many mortar shells firing. It was the SU-76 barrage.
We need to get General Gentleman stubbies.
General Gentleman stubbies?
Yeah, I don't...
So not just holders, or just actually stubbies? General Gentleman stubbies?
Oh, yeah, holders. Like,
holders,
that's what they're called, stubbies, right? The holders.
Stubby holders,
yeah.
They're called, yeah.
And I don't know if Spreadshirt does them, though. Spreadshirt's the website that our store is on, where you can get your hoodies and shirts and stuff. You can get bags, you can get cups. I don't know if you can get eskies or not eskies. I want an esky though. Just an esky. Stubby holders. That'd be cool. Or mouse pads, but I already have a nice mouse pad, so it'd be a little bit redundant getting one. Either way, Panzer IV is on the field.
It is indeed.
As is the T. Very late T70 though, actually. But it's never too late to get a T70 because they're just so good and cheap. It's 200 manpower, which is insane. Which actually leads me to believe that Jesulin's considering going for a call-in. So otherwise, because really his choice there was go for a T70 to call-in or go straight for an 85, or maybe a caddy, I guess.
Yeah, I mean IS-2 could be good. T-3485s would be better, and
T70? T70,
T70,
bro.
please.
Oh no!
T70, please.
Didn't get the repair off. Didn't even micro that back. So that was a very short-lived T70. Wow, maybe Jesulin was microing elsewhere.
Fairly heavy misplay. It's alright. Didn't happen.
Jove is looking really good here. He's got 2 mortars, and they're on their way to getting vetted. Where there is actually, no, this mortar's pretty vetted too for Jesulin. There's only 1 mortar, and so
yeah, relative to 2, it's never really fun, especially against Wehrmacht mortars. When you have the ability to use that counter barrage. You kind of you can set one up and start barraging, and then you set the other one and counter barrage in a different location, and then Jesulin tries to counter the barrage of the mortar, but gets counter barraged himself. Yeah, that worked out. Loving the English. Yeah.
And the thing is with the Vet 3, I'm pretty sure they changed that, so it actually gives you way more range than it used to.
Yep.
Because apparently the range was giving less than intended, and now it actually gives a crazy amount of range. If I'm not mistaken.
I believe you are correct, sir.
I was just looking through, someone made a thread about it on .org, Coh2.org. It's pretty interesting. Like a Vet 3 pack howitzer, the barrage range is insane. Either way, Jove floating a bit of manpower as well. Might be worth getting a cash for him. He's got a good mix of units, really.
Yeah.
I mean, a second pack might be worth getting too.
I certainly have been in this position before as Wehr marked. I don't really need anything more than I already have for the moment, so caches are certainly the way to go.
Actually, it's going to be a caddy. I think that's an excellent choice, especially with the 2 mortars. This is always worth getting rocket artillery on Lunger's Kaya, but it just means that because he went the T-70, it's going to delay his call-ins. Either the KV-2 or the ISU, or the IS-2 even. So all 3 of these commanders would be a great choice in this situation. The IS-2 is fantastic, but the elevation is always a problem.
The ISU, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's better when you're north, because then you're firing down, and it's often a bit better.
Yeah, I've never really been a fan of the ISU as south on Lungers. We certainly have run into some issues and seen several issues as
the
well.
elevation is the worst. They need to even this map out, flat it out, I suppose. Other than that, I mean, the KV-2 is probably a better choice, because the KV-2, it fires in arcs, so I don't think it's as affected by the elevation.
Yeah, I believe, like, the Lunger's Car in general, like, the middle's kind of like a hill, a small hillock, I suppose you could say.
Like that.
Like, yeah, like, the center is in, so, like, it's difficult to fire from each side. If you manage to get control of the center, you can kind of fire down, but if you're firing from either side of the center, it makes it difficult.
It's the same here as well. If you try and fire up, I think that's what you were explaining, is you just hit the elevation. It's awful. And the IS-2 is always a good choice, but when the map is this open, then you can just get forced away by packs and by Stugs, and it's a little bit hard to use the IS-2. So I certainly think the caddy's going to be great. I think maybe we'll see the KV-2, and there's a lot of munitions as well, so then the supply drop can give him more fuel, but maybe he should have been using that already. Just because you can't use it all at once, you have to space it out. So I think Jesulin just doesn't know what he wants to go yet. There's nothing wrong with that. Making sure you make the right choice rather than building something that ends up being a horrible idea.
See, this is a bit of a shocker for me, Machine. And I mean, I think if Joe's had access to say a Pack 43 would make more sense, but he's gone for a Stug here. And in a situation where he already has manpower float and is approaching fuel for a Tiger, he's decided to go for a Stug without anything, unless it looks like he's going aggressive with it. I don't know.
Oh, the Stug dives the caddy.
Take it back. Take it back.
Maybe even the SU as well.
Can I take it back?
Yeah.
I'm taking it back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jove.
Wow.
It's my bad.
2 Zis guns were there, but I think they were blocked off by the wreck.
Yeah.
Man, that was effective, and it was wrecked pretty far back as well.
Yeah. And if you lose a Stug, I guess that's not a huge investment relative to the Panzer IV, so it's actually a pretty good move, and now Jove has a bet 1 Stug. And once again, the caster's curse has slapped me upside the face, and I must apologize. The Stug works out well.
Caddy's not cheap as well. 85 fuel, 360 manpower.
And would you like to know whose fault that was? Jesulin's. Look at that munitions float. Are you telling me you don't have the world's most obvious mine spot mined on Lunger's Kaya? Come on, Jesulin. What's going on with you, man?
Yeah, he should have more mines. I mean, that was... Yeah, oh well.
That's a 100% no mines issue.
And the IL-2 is great for burning munitions, but it's really hard to hit moving targets. What else do we have? Oh, the Sturmovik is really strong.
Fantastic, yeah.
That's a great ability, 180 munitions. It just kills infantry. Not quite as effective as the tactical support, the US strafe, but it's still absolutely worth using. Yeah, I think in this situation, all 3 are just going to be a pretty good choice.
I would be leaning towards Armored Assault, though. Given the IL-2 and Jesulin's huge munitions float.
Especially when you have a really late game situation, which this is probably going to be, then you have IS-2 and 85s. It's such a great combination where it's, what's it going to be afterwards? ISU, KV2, and then what? Okay, well, 85s, I guess, caddies, I suppose. Not as solid as a mix as 85s and the IS-2. So it's ultra late game is Armored Assault, if you can get both of those, the fuel for them saved up. I think maybe we'll see. I don't know if Jesulin rebuilds his Katusha or if he should go for a call-in. Given that there's a Stug and a P4, maybe it's a bit too risky to go for his caddy. He actually locks in the Soviet Windustry. So he's going for his KV2. Has the KV8 as well, actually, which is going to be good follow-up.
What's the cost on the fuel drop? It's the... So, allied supply drop, so it's 100. So,
I think it's 30 he gives you.
yeah, it gives you 30 fuel. So, initializing those would be smart. That'd be an intelligent move for Jesulin. It'd be a nice way to spend those munitions and start getting closer towards the KV2. As long as he starts now. There we go, that's much better. Jesulin has remembered. He can click on things.
That's great.
Yeah.
Should maybe just put it... Is he doing it now? Put a flare or something on it? No, it's okay. Yeah, he's a little bit far off. Jove also having a float, probably worth getting cash. And maybe if he just goes to munitions cache, he could just spam railways or something. Or light arty barrage.
I think Jesulin is going for another one as well. He's going for a few of them actually. Look, if we just flick over to both of the combat engineer squads.
Oh yeah, there we go.
More.
Fantastic.
There we go. See? Demos all over the place. This is what happens. This is the Arcanaut special.
The cast is cursed. There's pioneers there with a sweeper.
Oh no. Disappointing. Commandeers say, please no sweep. Please no sweep. We took a lot of time to build this demo.
Build up. At the same time though, sometimes it can backfire. When you sweep a mine and go, okay, cool, this side is clear now. I swept the mine that was on this side of the map, and there's another mine, and you're like, oh damn. You kind of don't assume that your opponent will place 2 mines in a similar spot. Telemine, nice telemine there by Jove.
Yeah, Jesulin needs to be dropping fuel here. How much is the KV2? It's 230. Yeah, I knew it was just over 200. So
another great mine spot is here and here, because often your opponent will try and flank as a north. Will try and flank you via these houses.
Towards tanks in the middle, or any tanks you have on the right hand side. It's a pretty common path location. So. A lot of SC-76 barrages so far, just over the head, trying to find any support weapons and at least break Jove's hold over the center of the map. And currently it's working. Jesulin on 2 VPs. Jove 400 VPs for himself. Jesulin down to 297. There's the drops. Okay, I thought we were going to see them sooner than that. Obviously there's a cooldown on those.
So if he used all of that munitions on the fuel drops, that would have been 120 fuel. If I'm not mistaken. Well, no, more than that, right? Six times 3.
6 times
180.
30,
180 fuel. Wow. But I think the demos.
One is enough here. So he has enough for a KV2 almost now. So that's actually quite well timed by Jesulin.
So I wonder what Jove goes for here. There isn't an elephant, which is what he would really want to have against the KV2. He has the tiger. I mean, a command tank's always going to be nice, even despite the nerfs. And what else? The railway? Yeah, probably not. I don't know. I
personally am feeling the tiger, but
it's always just a safe go-to.
It is.
I don't think the KV2 has amazing penetration.
And the fact that Jove's hanging on to the choice is actually probably the best play that he can make here. The best play is not going for anything at all, and that's currently what we're seeing from him. It's just, I don't need any of these at the moment, therefore I won't go for one until I see what Jesulin goes for. Now that the KV2's been revealed, we should see Jove make a decision.
Oh, he's using tracking on the half track. I think it's so he knows how aggressive he can be with his Grens or something. Raffinade coming through on the Maxim. Wow, might even get it with the LMG, but he's actually suppressed with the Grenadiers. So
Conscripts should be extending the suppression there. Yeah, successful. So the Maxim's going to get away.
Still here, the Grens. Oh.
KV2 might get another shot off.
Depends how good the attack ground is. You really want to aim that manually, if it's a moving target. So remember as well, you get Panzer Tactician, which is very effective, and then you also get the counter-attack tactics, which can make a big difference in those tense VP situations. So if there's very late game mix of Panthers and Panzerwerfers and Brumbars and such, then having Panzer Tactician and a Command P4 is maybe the best choice. But yeah, a Tiger's always nice.
Oh, so you get Assault Grens. It's clearly the best unit in the game.
Wow, Assault Grens.
Machine, you sound less than enthused. I don't understand what's going on here, man. Come on.
Such MP40.
Yeah. Many infiltration.
Many grenades.
Yeah. Several sprint. Like, yeah. It's what you want. Okay, it is tier 4.
So, and he still could go a Tiger as well.
Open for options here. Open options.
Demo on that middle VP,
Yeah,
wow.
a lot of demos. This is full spend mode for Jesulin. The command.
Make it rain, boys.
Make it rain.
Just not rain too hard, or you may detonate the demolition charges.
Yeah.
There's still the 76 for support, very important. Prevents something diving aggressively after KV2. An 85, SU-85 would be ideal. He already has the tier 4, but depends on what Jove goes for. If Jove's goes max packs, then obviously going for a caddy would be better, but if Jove plays with Panthers, with Panzerwerfers, and 85 can be great for fending those off and even trying to chase them down.
Panzerwerfer, a really nice choice here for Jove. I mean, and look at Jesulin's unit composition. 2 Zis guns, a KV2 and an SU-76. Do either of those scream diving on a Panzerwerfer machine? So.
No, not really.
Certainly not.
It's either that or a Brumbar. How do you feel about the Brumbar relative to the Panzerwerfer?
I prefer the Panzerwerfer. The Panzerwerfer is a safer option. The Brumbar has potential, but I feel as though Jesulin has enough AT to deal with the
wow.
Brumbar. If it was, say, just the 2 Zis guns, yeah, sure, that's possible, but 2 Zis guns, an SU-76 and a KV2 is pushing it when it comes to a Brumbar.
That was some great RNG with the Zis. Those 2 shots, pretty much no scatter at all, max range. I remember in one of our casts, I said, I don't know if veterancy affects the scatter. I still don't know if it does or not. I'm assuming you don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Someone tell us. I think so, but I'm just guessing.
I would have chimed in. I don't make those kind of posts on Coh2.org, man. It's not my thing. It's not my thing. My thing is casting the video games. Other people have to tell me what's going on. So.
Well,
Man, I feel like we're playing Coh2 2 years ago with this rifle nade Maxim interaction. So.
That was a, MG42 that went down. This flame half track is just the best Maxim counter. Wow. Yeah. Oh, wow. He's going to lose the Maxim. That's probably the 3rd Maxim to die like that.
Yeah, it's pretty next level.
Oh. I think I got the voiceovers mixed up. That was Jesulin's Maxims. We almost lost 2 Maxims. Oh, in the middle. Yeah, that's the Maxim there. And on the side as well. Stug maybe? Oh, the demo! Oh dear, that's... Is there a vision of this?
Surely, yep. There we go.
There we go, wow.
Make the XP rain, boys.
Oh, immediately Joe building another squad of Grens, not wasting any time, but that's definitely a great pickup there because they were vetted and they had an LMG. And the left VP's been captured actually by Jove, so it's nice to see him trying to cap that and not just leaving it like a lot of players do. Because it is quite hard to cap.
Looks like the half track's having got a little bit drunk off the fumes inside his inside those flame projections, starts crashing into houses in celebration. So don't drink and drive, half track.
They can't see me here.
Don't drink and drive, yeah. I am hiding.
Once again, Jove has popped the tracking, so he sees things through the mini map. I'm pretty sure. He saw that there was a support weapon there.
Yeah.
It's worn off now, I believe. But it's actually a great ability to use. It just tells you where infantry are through the fog of war and support weapons. Only 10 munitions too. Which can actually allow for some very effective Panzerwerfer play.
Yeah, very cheap. And that was the Panzerwerfer firing, I believe, machine.
Yeah. Max range, so a bit of scatter there though.
Still not super effective at max range.
Exact same cost as the caddy. So pop cap for Jove, and still a fair bit here for Jesulin. So Jesulin has a fair bit of choices, going for a 76. So I think that's just a suicidal
dive, yeah.
And that's the great thing to do about that. And I don't think it one-shots it though. But it would certainly kill it with one shot and most likely the MG follow-up without having to use a second shell.
And the second reason that it's such a good choice machine is that even if he trades it for this really annoying Flammenwerfer, I'd say worth. I would still say worth at this stage in the game. I mean, assuming I typed in chat in time, I would still say worth. It's incredibly annoying for Jesulin to try and deal with. He doesn't have mobile tanks to move to the side and force it off. It really prevents him from going for individual squad caps.
Yeah, way more than a Panzer IV does.
This infantry tracking, that's got to be an issue after a while. I mean, that's still great utility in the favor of Jove. So I would say it's still worth.
I want to keep an eye on it. Let's see. I'm going to leave it on Jove's vision here and wait for him to pop it again. So the flame harp, he's using it now. See, he sees I think the mortar may be revealed from firing somewhere. Yeah, anyway. So the right side, we see the flame half-tracks there, going to be once again forcing the cons away. Still have to be careful getting hit by an AT grenade, and there's a Panzer IV there for support.
It's such great utility as well, for not only for Jove in general, but also for the flame half track. It says, okay, vision popping. Is there or is there not a Zis gun supporting this conscript squad?
Yeah, exactly. So then you know if you can dive it or not. So I've seen a lot of players go for this flame half track, but I've seen it even do damage sometimes, but I've never seen it last this long. And it's such a fragile unit to keep alive, and to see it last this long and actually have a great impact, 27 kills. And I think it's just really good positioning by Jesulin. He's had good impact with it, and he hasn't ever really had it caught out of position either.
So is that the T-34 on the left-hand side ready for the flank? Yeah, okay, right, so. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's the ideal position. So I'll run you through the thought process behind this. You want the T-34 set up. There's obviously, there's a teleline there, so Jesulin could be in trouble with that. So the T-34, you want it on the flank and ready to go. You wait for the Panzer to fire and reveal itself, and then you immediately go in with the T-34 to try and clean it up. That's the most effective way to go for that dive.
Especially if you're shoving around with something in the middle. You're revealing the KV-2. You're not hiding it. So it means that the packs are going to be set up facing towards that. So then if the 76 goes in, all the AT is out of position. It's same with when you use things like M10s. You want to leave them on the side somewhere. And then when you see that your opponent's tank is out of position, you just mass swarm from the side and make sure you kind of shove in the middle so your opponent's AT is out of position. That's the caddy. Not much success from that. Same with the Panzerwerfer. The Maxim was stolen away here by Jove.
Yeah, he's had that one for a little while. That was the Maxim that was captured back on the fuel point, wait by the flame half track.
He actually may use the 76 to get the right VP as well. I think that's what he's trying to do with it. But the Stug's there, and that Stug's quite vetted. So Panzerwerfer got a Maxim. Oh, no, it didn't. Look at the Maxim then. Was it the rifleman?
Must have been.
The Grenadiers,
yeah, the Grenadiers, I'm guessing. I mean, they're on 22 kills, so I'm not sure what it could have been, really. Man, KV-2 is getting worked up.
Yeah, 9 kills. I don't think it's got any wipes so far, but it's such a big damage threat. You can't stick around. Is it on mobile mode? Or no, it's still mobile, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It can lock down. Cons are going in. Oh, it may finish this one off here. And AT grenade's going to be available. Yeah, the half track is going down. It's done well for himself. I think so does the 76. So is a hashtag worth?
I mean, we haven't seen Jesulin type it in yet. I don't know if he's aware of the rule. Now we'll never know. How are we supposed to know if it's worth, Jesulin? Lift your game, please. We would appreciate that. But personally, I'd say worth, machine. It was a real... Thank you. Cheers. No, make sure it's all in all chat. Alright,
It's all chat.
I would say it's worth. That's a pretty nice train. It's fuel that, I mean, Jesulin doesn't really need at this point. He has a essentially filled out pop cap, and sure, like, he might lose the KV-2 and then he'll need to save up fuel for that again, but you can't really be worried about those kind of things. I think that's just a decent trade. You should never be floating resources when you can get work done with them, even if it is by throwing away units.
But at the same time, what does Jove go for? He has way more resources and less available pop cap than what Jesulin does.
Yeah, I mean...
He might just rebuild the flame half track.
He could do.
Because I don't think he doesn't actually get any bonus veterancy for combat, so it's not like the Vet 3 half track was insanely powerful. It was just slightly more mobile.
If that P4 was, say, Vet 0, I would be diving with it. I would be sending it around the left-hand side past the fuel point and trying to dive on top of the Katusha, maybe and take out one of these repair stations as well.
You can just rebuild it.
Yeah, exactly. You can just rebuild it. It's not a problem. Jove has so many resources at this stage. Even with the veterancy one,
you can blitzkrieg in then, even easier.
Like, yeah, it's an even better situation for him to be in. He doesn't really... There's no huge benefit to having the P4 at high veterancy. Look for the good trades. Take out the Katusha, take out anything you can, really.
I wonder what Jove wants here. I would say he probably wants to have a Panther because the Panzer IV doesn't really have the pen to do anything about this KV2. But then a Panther's going to be a bit better in that regard.
It'll also give him a composition where he can hold the center. With only one pack gun, it's not really enough to deal with the composition at the moment from Jesulin. Right, so Jove certainly could look for the left-hand side. He's had the Pioneers up in the area. He knows there are no mines, at least for the moment, surrounding that munitions. There could be some deep mines, but he's got to be pretty confident, or as confident as he can be, that there are no mines in the area.
Vet 3 pack. But the mortar's down. I don't think we'll see him recap the mortar though. Because why get a mortar when you can just get another Panzerwerfer? If that's what you want, is that arty. How much is the mortar? So it's 6, and the Panzerwerfer is 12. So it's 2 mortars for a Panzerwerfer. Caddy's now firing.
And mortar's gonna have to run. Stays alive.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Oh, that mine was blown up by the caddy, I think.
Wow.
Huh. Still, I hope we see both of our players plant more. They are floating up a lot of munitions. Still a demo here from Jesulin. This one was blown up by something.
Still no commander lock in here by Jove either.
Yeah, that's certainly true. He could have used the Panzer Tactician on his flame half track if he went for it. So he must not want to go for the mobile defense.
So you have to remember that veterancy doesn't actually matter on the flame half track.
Yeah. Alright, what's that? The pack.
They're not really worth a lot.
Wow, that rate of fire. I just think that if Jove was going to go mobile defense, he probably would have done so by now.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say, oh, it's bad late game. Is it though? Is it? You have Panzer Tactician
and the command tank. Yeah.
And the command tank, and then you also have counter attack in 1v1s when this is your alternatives. And when you already have a P4 and a Stug, and you already have tier 4, the Tiger isn't going to be incredible. You know, it's not going to be amazing.
I mean, it's a decent unit in this situation, but yeah, you're right.
Well, actually, hang on. This KV2, it gets stunned, and the Stug's moving in as well here. There's 2 Zisguns for a Zisgun and a 76.
It's gonna have to back away.
Okay.
Second Zisgun doesn't get a shot off. I think it fires.
Oh,
No, it
wow,
does.
nice.
Can we just check the range there? Oh, we don't get to. The Zisgun actually moves, but that would have been absolute max range.
See, it's so important to have supporting AT of your vehicles like that. Whether it's a KV2 or a Tiger or a Yug Tiger, when you have such a slow, heavy, big tank, you got to have supporting AT for it. Because if it gets caught out of position, it doesn't actually matter because you have the overlapping fire of AT. And you could have stood for it, which was vetted too. So, but now Jove's building a Panther, so maybe he's not too worried.
Yeah, not a big deal. I mean, the Panther will fill out his pop cap here.
It's the hardest thing to do is when you're in that late game situation, you're pop capped, and you don't know what you want to lose. It's kind of like choosing which of your children you love the least. Which one can you throw away and discard? And actually, he did cap the mortar again, so wanted to have that rather than a Panzerwerfer.
Does Jesulin have Molotovs? He should do if he doesn't. I haven't seen any Molotovs.
No Molotovs. Yeah,
need to unlock those. Definitely worth. He actually is he? No, he is. He actually just unlocked the Molotovs.
Oh, the Katyusha's firing on the Panzerwerfer. You may get the counter barrage there. Where'd the Panzerwerfer go? The Zisgun. Still hasn't got the Zisgun. 8 kills on the Caddy versus 5 kills on the Panzerwerfer, which is somehow Vet 1. Maybe it's worth using the counter battery on the Panzerwerfer. Kill the Caddy. The VP is still pretty even. This game is very close, and no one's really lost anything major. It's always been 1 or 2, okay, this vehicle's destroyed, this thing's killed. It's been such a gradual game that they both have a lot of resources. Not so much in manpower, but definitely in fuel and munitions. So even if our players lose a lot of units, it's not actually going to be a big deal. So this is where it gets very strategic, and especially I love this matchup, Soviets versus Wehrmacht, because there really is a lot of interesting unit choices that you have. You have to really work out, what do I really want? It's not as one-sided as the other factions, where it's, okay, King Tiger, That's what I want, because it's the best choice.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. It's there actually a lot of things to weigh up, and where composition matters.
Certainly, Machine. Yeah, I mean, there are better AT guns, better late game infantry here. I'd say that's one of the small advantages that Jove has, having 2 squads, or 3 squads really, of better Grens against just 2 squads of better conscripts that are certainly worse than the Grenadiers with upgrades. And the conscripts won't have access to any.
So if there's a big engagement and there's 2 Zis guns like this, we could see actually the railway be locked in. Supply drop zone. I don't think that really matters anymore.
Jove has been floating up those munitions. We haven't seen a lot more telemines or anything going down, so maybe he is thinking about the railway.
Still getting a cache up here, what I would definitely recommend. You can't really build caches here because they're probably just going to die. But this location and the equivalent, there's no way your opponent will destroy those caches.
241
241 VPs for Jove, 247 for Jesulin here.
Capping this VP against the KV2 is just so risky. I hear the Panzerwerfer firing. Oh, he went for the engineer. Oh, the caddy? Never mind. And there's the Panzerwerfer, and still the Zis guns survive. Well, the pack doesn't, however.
Was that? Yeah, is the caddy coming down? I don't think there's a danger in moving the Panzerwerfer closer than Jove has been moving it. There's just, I mean...
He's leaving at max
you
range.
have to be kind of worried about flanks coming from the left-hand side, but at least to where the P4 is. Where the P4 is in a dangerous position for the Panzerwerfer. And you just get such increased accuracy from moving the Panzerwerfer into medium range. There's really no reason not to.
Yeah, he's just worried, I guess, about the Zis guns, the caddy. Look, we have the mortar flares being used by Jesulin. That's very smart. It gets a good section of the map revealed.
I suppose we can never really fault players for being overly safe. It's not a bad thing, though. However, that's a Vet 3 pack wipe machine.
Yeah, that's a pretty
the
big
one we
deal.
saw go down to the Katusha. It was Veteran C3.
Vet 2 is the KV2. Improving targeting and range. Oh man, that's scary. The demo is revealed by the pyros. Trying to focus it down, actually. Doesn't take long to kill it.
Yeah.
Oh, the railway! So he went for the Ostruppen.
Okay.
Wow, that was lucky. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah? Not a bad locking machine.
In before the cons get hit too. He gets one model for the cons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. He's pop capped. He can't build anything, so he might as well go for the command of the best arty. He can definitely turn games. It was either that or, again, the Panzer Tactician.
Yeah.
And breakthrough, kind of. What was the other thing he had? It was light arty barrage.
And,
yeah, it was the Tiger.
support,
Yeah, so light arty barrage.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, light arty barrage is still good against these support weapons, but it doesn't have the same shock and awe value as the railway.
He's still got 2 more railways available that he can use. And now I really want to see him get some uni caches. Even if you're going to lose it, it's not a problem because you're floating up manpower.
Yeah.
As long as you don't lose everything at once. Which these sort of players won't.
Yeah.
Ooh, MG survives.
They are good at video games, machine.
So
This is turning into the standard Lungraskaya thumb wrestle over the central VP.
thumb wrestle. Yeah,
Yes.
it's a good way of explaining it, isn't it?
well, it is. I mean, I wouldn't say it's an arm wrestle over the central VP. It's not. That would be incorrect. An arm wrestle is a big contest of strength. A thumb wrestle looks absolutely ridiculous.
Which was last game
takes
we
a while,
casted
yeah.
on Mint Pocket was a big arm wrestle, I suppose. Okay, Panther's going to be moving up against the KV2. There's actually a demo nearby, so this KV2 has to make sure it doesn't pass over that.
Man, you would think that those conscripts were pioneers building S-mines the way they threw down that sandbag under heavy fire.
Heavy fire of pioneers.
Yeah. Well, you know,
MG.
and an MG42 and Grenadiers and a Panther.
Oh wow, the Zisgun again gets wiped by this railway.
I forget about the ridiculous, actually, the AoE on the shells.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's so powerful. I wonder where he threw it down, but it looks like he's had pretty good scatter with it so far. Another railway? Okay.
Yeah, hold my shot.
So now the pop cap has gone down a bit for Jesulin here. 83, and he's the one who doesn't quite have as much of a bank. Still a fair bit.
It's 234, 76 range. Again, I don't have a problem with diving in after that Panzerwerfer. Take it out, why not?
The KV-8 is actually pretty decent against that. The KV-8 has a lot of health, and the secondary gun can kill that quite quickly.
That's true.
Same even with Pumas, you'd be surprised. You can kill the Pumas and Stukas pretty effectively.
No,
with
it's a
that.
bit more of expensive of a throwaway here. I guess, I mean, not that Jesulin's actually churning for resources, I suppose, so...
300 manpower.
380 against
390.
the 145 I was thinking was the main
Oh, well,
problem,
fuel
but
is no
fuel's not an
concern.
issue, yeah.
Actually, that's a lot of manpower for a T-34-76.
Big plays.
Yeah, moving up, it couldn't quite get the 76 down, but a nade could come through from the cons.
Forces capturing supply sector.
Really important to have those supporting squads in the area for the snares. Best way to keep your tank destroyers safe.
Yeah, if you compare the proportions of manpower to fuel, the T-34-76 is very manpower heavy. Especially compared to a T-70.
It's like probably one of the most fuel cheap kind of medium tanks in the game, though.
Yeah.
It's kind of the opposite of a T-70 in some respects, which is ridiculously manpower cheap. Which
Yeah.
is, like, insane. But it will be the way Jesulin is choosing to spend
Yep.
fuel manpower. I'm a fan of that. So caches are a thing, and I certainly would invest in some.
Panzerwerfer is very close, moving up a little bit here. And I hear the caddy firing. No, that's the Panzerwerfer firing. Where are we going? Man. Hasn't had much luck with this Panzerwerfer.
Not a lot.
There was still a fair bit of scatter as well. I think the caddy's definitely the better of the two. There's not much doubt about that.
Man, how much longer could this game go out for? I think we really underestimate how long Langra's games can go for. We're still essentially only halfway through this game. 233 VPs against 222 for Jesulin, and we're 50 minutes in.
Wow.
This is pretty next level.
And it's just the late game, it hasn't really been a big engagement. That's the thing, is it's been very gradual hit and it's like watching a game of chess. You know, there isn't really any exciting plays really. Putting a demo on the field point there.
Yeah, good choice. Demos are great at this stage of the game. The squad wipe potential is so much more dangerous than I suppose they're just available, because wiping a Vet 1 Grenadier squad earlier on in the mid game, that's one thing, but wiping a Vet 3 Grenadier squad, i.e. right here, in a late stage of the game, that's crucial.
Yeah, it
Game
also
altering.
means that if you have to rebuild that squad, it's then delaying a tank. When the only concern is manpower, losing a squad of infantry, it delays a tank, which is a big opportunity cost to getting what you really want on the field. Like, often the most important thing to kill is pioneers, repairing squads.
Yeah.
Okay, the Panther's going in aggressively here. Gets a fair bit of damage, but they all bounce. Is this a Panzerwerfer bait? Oh, it gets the one Zis gun down. And that was with the Vet 3 one, I believe, so that was a great play. He's got Vet 2 now, that's going to be a pretty big boost.
Certainly was an railway RD opportunity there as well, with both the mortar and the Zis gun in the area, as well as the KV2. Jove deciding to play things safe and not go too deep yet.
Trying to destroy the Zis gun with a Panther. Gotta be careful of these pioneers, especially the one repairing. T-34's on the field now, but he's going to be facing up this Vet 2 Panzer 4. Cons are nearby as well for the nade. He rebuilt those engineers.
Yeah, had to. There's at least 2 squads with repairs. Even with those repair stations, you still need a minesweeper out.
Trenches. Now we're talking. These trenches, I don't believe they're as strong as the British trenches, but they're also free. So it's there's pros and cons to it. Another railway's thrown down. Of course it gets the Zis gun.
Wipe.
My railways have never done that.
Do your railways ever kill anything? Machine?
Look, they have done before, but not that consistently.
No,
So
I bet it gets this con. I think there's still a pretty big delay for the last shot, so yeah.
Of course it gets the Zis gun direct. Come on.
I would certainly hire these artillery crews that Jove has employed.
I don't like how the trench is the exact same model for the Brits. That's just lazy.
That
and
needs to be a
confusing.
new bulletin that I'm down with. It's just like your railway artillery strikes are manned by Jove's artillery officers or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You can also you can capture this as your opponent, where you can't capture a British trench. Whoa! I think that was the KV. No, that was what was that? That was the
Caddy was firing.
yeah.
So yeah.
Oh wow!
Fair bit of manpower.
Once again,
as
good
well.
use of the flare. And the KV2 on the trench now. The trench won't save you against the KV2. Almost
so
vet 3, but
the-
it's only mobility, so it's not really amazing.
The central VP should go back over in favour of Jesulin. 204 VPs for Jove, 217 for Jesulin. Could get the... No, it doesn't actually find a shot near the demo. So, remembering that Jove knows that demo's actually in the area. How's the demo looking on the right-hand side on that fuel point machine?
Still there.
Still
Still
there.
there. Mortar v mortar.
Jove has actually blown through some of his munitions now. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was thinking Jesulin, but Jesulin actually hasn't blown through his munitions. Still on 620. Mine's never a bad thing. I'll just be sending a combat engineer squad to the left-hand side and just building a half dozen mines in that area. Entry points, squad delays, anything really. Just
Yeah, even if it's delaying, it's still important. So we actually have a Brumbar and a Su-85 being built. I think the 85 is an excellent choice. Should be able to trade with the Panther and the Panzer IV exceptionally well. Brumbar is more a thing about wiping infantry and VP control. This T-34 is out of position. No. Yeah, it's out of range of the Panzer IV, and the pack's down as well, so there wasn't any follow-up from that.
Supply sector under attack.
yeah, both of these tanks excellent choices for different reasons, Machine.
It's either a Brumbar or a Panther, and yeah, it depends what you want to do. Because do you want to kill infantry? Do you want to kill the tanks? And they obviously are indicative of two different strategies.
Yeah. Jove actually needs to drop some models here as well to get the Brumbar out on the field.
Oh, yeah,
It's currently
yes.
caught. So probably from even a mortar, I would probably drop a mortar here.
34 and 8, they actually have a fair bit of kills in the mortars.
Even dropping models is nice. Like if you can kind of
Oh yeah.
walk a mortar and drop a couple of models, and then just even if it has, you know, 2 models, as long as you're using it defensively and just covering that central VP. I mean, you certainly can lose it with Coh2s on the field, but at least allow that Brumbar to get out. But the Brumbar's out.
Su-85 V elevation. So the Brumbar's arrived, but I didn't see it having a big impact against the KV2 and the Su-85. But it might just, it's basically the equivalent of the KV2. It's just to try and deny caps, but much smaller. Is he going aggressive here? Oh, Jesulin, he wants to make something happen. Focusing down the Brumbar.
Takes several shots. There's this gunshot, KV2 shot, Su-85 shot.
Caddy's firing as well. This could be devastating. The Grenadiers get focused quite low. MG has to retreat. Panzer is firing in return. Where's the P-Werfer going? It doesn't get anything.
Again, the max range not really successful in the favour of Jove.
Jesulin had enough. He's like, you know what? I have to be somewhere. My pizza's getting cold.
Yeah.
I want to close this game out. I'm going to push in.
I'm gonna win.
I love that, because the other thing as well that he's done is now he has the elevation. Now his Su-85 won't hit the elevation every time. So maybe the right side he'll try go for that as well. Or was he flanking with a Panther? Not with the Panzer IV, but going to be flanking this one. But now he's within range of the 85. I wonder if we'll see the T-34 be used to ram. That might be worth doing. And the railway's being called down to zone away these tanks. T-34 a little bit late with a response there. Gotta be careful against Jove's RNG. No, he's accounting for Jove's RNG.
Yeah.
But that actually forced Jesulin off. So I wonder if Jove now pushes back in. Good demo. Demo on that field as well. Yeah, there's nothing nearby there.
It's gonna kill the water. Oh, disappointing.
Vet 3 MG. Wow.
Conscript should be able to finish the sandbag just. But don't think they'll find a way to get over it.
Oh, right. I thought the 76 barrage was a KV2.
And you were not very satisfied with the small explosion, or?
Yeah, it was disappointed that it didn't blow up.
Jove doesn't have the float for another railway here, Machine, but
Yeah.
he does have a pretty big manpower float that could have been put into munitions caches earlier on. And he certainly would have the float.
2-man Gren squads. Oh, the Brumba. Oh, there goes the Gren squad.
The big positive for Jove, he can fill out his entire pop cap again, essentially straight away.
Yeah.
You just rebuild all his tanks. Say Jove goes aggressive or Jesulin goes aggressive. It's much easier for Jove to remax here than it is for Jesulin to do so, given his much lower manpower, half the manpower of Jove.
Once again, Jesulin making use of the mortar flare. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that if you have vision, it also gives your artillery less scatter. That may only be howitzers, it may only be rocket artillery, but I'm pretty sure that having vision actually makes your scatter less, so it certainly helps if you can do it. So we're going in now is Jove, the P4 and the Panther. Is this wise though? 85's in position, KV2 as well. Cons are nearby. Really committing to this. The 76 is there as well though. No way this is gonna work, but it will force Jesulin away and maybe give the VP back to Jove. Nade comes through on the Panther though.
Rombaro's well in the area.
Ugh.
Seems like that's what it was, Machine, trying to force Jesulin off the central VP, and at least the infantry is gone, but not much else. Ooh, sneaky cat from Jesulin though. He's actually looking for the...
It's in for a nade, I think.
Wow,
on the
be.
P4? Well, the
Maybe it
P4
was
is backed
looking for
away.
the-
Anyway, they are pushing up once. Or maybe the Brumba, he'll get it too. No, he backs off. But so does the Brumba, getting completely shut down. 85's almost vet too. They've become so powerful with that rate of fire and the penetration. Actually, it's only penetration and accuracy.
Yeah.
It's no longer rate of fire, but it still fires very fast for its pen. Vet 3 now on the KV2.
Yeah, and everything in the middle here. So Jove is in a bad spot. He can build up his army again, but he doesn't really have the repairs to repair his tanks. So
Yeah, there's 2 Pyos, and I just think it's a better composition for Jesulin. The Brumba just hasn't done anything. It's 0 kills. It's just forced Jove away because Jove couldn't get enough AT out. He couldn't get more Stugs or more Panthers out. And it's also fed a lot of veterans into this SU-85.
I suppose that also the problem is, Machine, that they came out at the same time as the SU-85.
Yeah.
That was an issue. Just kind of, the Brumba showed up and it's like, oh, there's an SU-85 here now. I'm much less useful all of a sudden.
Barraging the base with the Caddy. I don't think he wiped anything there. There's only 1 squad of Grens left though, or maybe he did wipe something. The Pioneers? No, the Pioneers are still alive.
The medics are down.
Yeah.
So that's always a nice delaying tactic.
Oh, there's 2 Grens.
2 Grens, 3 medics. That's Panzerwerfer. Find anything again.
I see this game going to be going in Jesulin's favor. I just think in sheer composition, he's got
Jesulin just has a better composition.
a vetted
yeah.
85, vetted 76. He's got the vetted KV2, and he's got a frontline T34, even for a ram if he wants to.
Yeah, it's very micro heavy, Jesulin's composition, but it is also fantastic.
Maybe Jove should just go for a massive engage, because his float is insane. Building
Yeah.
a Panther now, but at the same time, so is Jesulin's float. It's still pretty big.
It's just so hard to go all in against this composition.
Yeah.
Though. If Jesulin's reverse micro is on point, it's going to be under SU-85 fire, Vet 3 SU-76 fire, KV2 fire the entire time.
And there's 3 cons for nades, so there's plenty of snares available.
Yeah.
Jove really has to flank, and it's certainly easier said than done.
And Jove wants to all in. I mean, why would he not want to all in? Look at this composition. Look at his float here, Machine. He can all in, try and look for as many wipes as possible, and follow it up with by remaxing.
Wow, the
and
mortar goes down. This is where breakthrough would have been fantastic. I mean, mobile defense, because then you have the Panzer Tactician, so you just close up to the 85s. Yeah, you can attack ground, but it buys a lot of time that you would otherwise be getting ripped apart. You burn they have the command panzer there as well, which is pretty pop cap efficient. I think that would have been a better choice in this situation. The railway, sure, it's wiped some Zis guns, but it hasn't done anything other than that.
70 VPs now for Jove. Jesulin's still on 217, so not in a bad position at all.
Okay,
Okay, here comes the all-in.
he's going for it now. still plenty of AT in position. I like how the 76ers were behind.
Well, it's hard to micro machine.
He's circling now. Where are the conscripts? A nade comes through. The the caddy's quite exposed. Brumbar's going in as well. Even the Panzer IV, the second Panther's on the fight as well. Everything's where it needs to be right now. Who will win this engagement? There is the main gun destroyed on the Panther, but 85 goes down. These guns are in there for support as well.
Taking out the KV2 would be huge here. It has the veterans, but it looks like he's going for the SU-76 first. The KV2 bounces a shot. The SU-76 doesn't get another one off. There is a Zis gun set up as well. A couple of them firing onto these Panzer IVs.
The Demo is blocking off the retreat path with the KV2, and he rams with a 76, but the main gun is still there, and the Panther's still alive, but not for long. Zis kills it. So it's going to be Panzer IV v the KV2. He's going to have to back away from this one.
Where's the Remax, Jove? You can go for it right now. Okay, he's going for it. He started 2 Panthers here, Machine. He's going to Blitzkrieg away with the Veterancy 3, Panzer IV, but he's down to 36 victory points. I think he left the all-in a little bit late, Machine. Needs to get a squad onto that middle VP ASAP.
Yeah, also at the same time, when the conscript's already on the map, and Jesulin remaxed straight away. He just started queuing up the 76s without wasting any time, and they build much faster than a Panther as well. And I think Jesulin did better in that engagement, let alone the fact that he has more squads on the field anyway, and more PopCap.
Jove misplayed that. What Jove should have done, what would have been the smart move, and the Panzer IV actually survives there, would have been to build the Panther and a P4 and have them on 100, like 99% completion, and then all in. Because then he would have instantly had another Panther and another P4 ready to come out.
Can you do that though?
Can you do that though? Like, do you know if you can?
I think you can only do that.
You can only do that if you are less PopCap and then you like, you go over that PopCap.
If you build it and then you reinforce some squads.
Yeah. So I've never tried it because when I've been on that much PopCap, but I think it would be OP if you could do that, because then you just like,
queue up everything.
You just queue up everything, and that'd be a pretty overpowering play.
He's going to Faust this KV2, however. I think it says cannot build your PopCap, but if you build something when you have the PopCap, doesn't Faust? It's getting clumped up now. If you build something, then reinforce, then over pop.
See, what I was thinking, like, if he builds, like, when he went to build that last Panther, if he builds a Panther and a P4 at the same time, it's like there's a, because that P4, because the PopCap doesn't apply until you get the unit on the field, you can conceivably build 2 tanks at the same time, and then the second one just doesn't complete.
Yeah,
the second one stays at 99%, but yeah. I mean, he's remaxed now. I mean, Jove is going for another Panther. He's down on the fuel float now, and he's actually starting an Oswin here as well to round out the PopCap. But down to 17 VPs. He has 2 VPs captured. It is certainly possible that he takes this game. Jesulin
is firing.
Still in a good position with this Vet 3 KV2 and a Vet 3 Katusha as well.
Jesulin can also throw out a KV8 for maximum VP deny if he wants to. Oh, Ostrupen with youth. That's nice. That'll give Jove a bit more capping power.
Yeah, look, Jove is going to remax with this Oswin coming out.
Oh, the caddy. And the Panzer Wehr, they may kill it. Oh, wow. That's close.
A direct shot should get it here.
Wow. That Panzer Wehr barely surviving. Meanwhile, the Panther's diving to the base. So is the other Panther as well. KV2's just backing away, though, and there's plenty of cons for support. Even a Zis gun's nearby.
Yeah, Panther's going to have to duke out of the Zis gun arc. It's actually running into getting 1v1 by Garrison pretty hard here.
Demo may kill it.
Could be.
Nice. He gets the main gun, but not the Panther just yet. AT grenade didn't get the snare. He used it too early. KV2 gets the killing blow, and 1 Panther still alive, but there's conscripts absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, ready for the AT grenade. One of this squad's about to.
Oh, wiped by the Panzer IV, and Austin here as well. This game is still any man's game right now, but there's only 1 Panther and the Panzer IV, so still lacking in AT is Jove, but gonna have the VP deny with the Ostwind.
P4's actually gonna be blitzkrieging in here, takes a shot straight away.
Oh, he's flanking, the Consul had to retreat. He could see this KV2 go down. It's so fast with that blitzkrieg. There's a 76 on the way, and a caddy's there as well here. He stops circling it. What's the Panther doing?
Just chilling at the moment. The Oswin's taking down the Zis gun at the same time. The Panther's looking for the flank. It's actually managing to juke away the rotation.
Wow! Rear armor, so the T-34 gets the kill. The Panther wasn't really doing much either. Not well microed by Jove, and there's the damage engine from the conscripts.
They're actually recruiting this Zis gun as well, Machine, if they get onto it in time. Zis gun's been recruited, the KV2, it just... nothing can happen here. The Panther, it takes out the T-34, but how much does Jesulin care? He has a 500 fuel float.
Putting an 85 at the moment. And the KV2 just has so much armor that the Panzer IV was there, but it didn't really have the rear armor, so it was just bouncing consistently, even at point blank range and even at Vet 3. I would kind of like to see the Panzer IV get a bit more penetration. It's not amazing at dealing with those heavies, but either way, well played game by Jesulin. I think we summed it up there. It was just a much better composition for Jesulin.
Yeah.
And even he kind of got caught out of position there a little bit, but he recovered from it pretty well. And overall, you're Jove, you're versing Jesulin with that composition. Like, how do you deal with that?
I don't know.
You have to try and flank, and it's really not that easy, especially with the threat of mines always being in the back of your mind. Yeah, I think that Brumba, it was unfortunate because he didn't know an 85 was on the field. If Jesulin revealed the 85 before Jove got the Brumba, he probably would have gone for a Panther instead. But yeah, I think also Austrian wasn't the right choice. I think having, as I kept saying that, but I think having the smoke would have made a big difference.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure about a Tiger. It's hard to say.
Yeah, it is difficult to say, so... But I enjoyed that game anyway. I mean, Jesulin didn't play that first all-in perfectly. The SU-85 and the the SU-76 got caught in each other, but when you have that many tanks, it's hard to micro perfectly. And the main thing was that he kept the KV-2 right next to a Zis gun here. He kept the KV-2 right there. It was firing constantly had the rear armor facing forward, so he was never at risk of losing what I feel was his main tank, which was the KV-2. That was the real threat. Losing the SU-85, losing T-34s, losing Katyushas, it's like, whatever, I can rebuild those, that's fine, but losing a Vet 3 KV-2, which was really the threat, stopping Joe from capping that metal VP, that was the main thing. No excuse for floating 666 munitions, buddy. Yeah, really should have had more mines down. There's just no reason you shouldn't have like 50 mines down at that stage in the game. So like, how many mines? We normally like to do the machine always like to do that. This is how many mines that Archon Hawk could have built during the game when it was floating munitions.
Yeah, because all you got to do, it's
yeah.
not an APM sync. You just go engineers, build mine, shift click, click,
22
click,
mines.
click,
22
click,
mines.
click, and then just go back to doing whatever. It's not like you have to babysit the engineers. Yeah, it's just, you're not always thinking, you know, when the game is always on a razor's edge, when the VP situation is pretty close, when your tank destroyers can get flanked, you're not always thinking about those things, and you know, no one's perfect. But that was overall a very interesting game, very strategic game, and I'm glad we had a big battle in the end there. It's always nice to see a climatic end.
It's how you want Coh2 games to end. You don't want them to end with two sides facing off across a central VP. You want to see them charging across it valiantly. Always makes it enjoyable. So if you do enjoy our content, please do consider supporting us on Patreon. It allows us to keep these videos rolling out, keep looking at awesome Vet 3 KV2s, which are having a great time. You can just tell that the guy's got a little smile on his face. Man, I've killed so much infantry today. It's fantastic. Really have been enjoying it. So yeah, and thank you for watching the video. It's a pleasure having you with us.
Indeed. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.